Miss Merlo. Today I'm going to show you how to draw your hand popping off the paper, and then we're going to do a really cool coloring design. So what you need is a piece of paper, a pencil, if you have a ruler. If not, you can use another piece of paper to help make some straight lines. If you have some Sharpie markers or a black marker to outline your hand, that would be great, and something to color in. Could either be markers or color pencils. Let's get started. All right, so we're going to start by putting our hand down on our paper and grabbing a pencil in our opposite hand. You want it to spread out so you kind of fit it, and you want a little bit of your wrist in the picture area. So the next thing is when you're tracing your hand, you want to make sure your pencil is straight up and down, like it's pointing to the sky and to the ground. If you turn your pencil at an angle, you end up getting really skinny fingers and it'll almost look like alien fingers. So your pencil should be straight up and down. So I'm going to start here at the end of my paper, and I'm going to start tracing around my hand like this, with my pencil straight up and down, going nice and slow to make sure I don't slip, going up and down. Remember, we like to not draw our pencil lines too dark because at the end we're going to try to erase them. Okay, so now I'm going to lift my hand up. At this point in time, I have my hand drawing on the paper. Okay, the next step is we're going to go ahead and make it look a little three-dimensional. By doing that, you're going to go from this side to the other side and make a little bit of an arch. So we're going to kind of go up and down. We're going to follow this kind of pattern all the way up the hand, but we're going to stop when we get to the finger. So up and down. The spacing of your line should be about 1 finger width apart. So not too skinny, not too small. So about a finger width apart. You're going to make each one of those lines. They're going to go up and down and across. So I'm going to stop here with my thumb, and I'm going to do one more up here. Now the next step is in the fingers, you're going to continue about a finger width apart. It can get a little bit closer if you'd like. We're going to continue that pattern. Notice it almost looks like I'm continuing the line across. So when I go here up and down, I'm going to try to do it the same distance apart. Great, so now I have all my lines. My next step that I'm going to do is I'm going to take my ruler, and if you don't have a ruler, you can also use a straight edge of a paper, and I'm going to try to go to where these lines ended, put my ruler down, and just draw lines straight across the paper here. Now remember to hold your fingers here so it doesn't move, straight across here. So now it's a straight line. I'm going to go up to this next line, go straight across. Now this line up here is all the way up here, so I'm going to take my ruler to this one, bring it to that point, put my pencil down, and try to go straight across. It also helps if you put your ruler above the line so you can see that it's parallel. They're going in the same direction and they're not crossing each other. So I'm going to take my pencil, go to this point, go here and go straight across. I'm going to find this point, go straight across. Oh, looks like I see this one now. Put it down here, go straight across. And I'm going to do this all the way up the hand. Now when you get to this point here in between the fingers, it can be a little tricky because maybe some of your lines didn't line up. So just do the best you can, and you can always bring it back down to that. And I don't have one right here, but that's okay. We can still draw an extra one in here as well. And it still will look fine. Now I'm going to continue up my fingers, and notice the spacing isn't the same for these lines on the outside, but that's okay. It'll have a nice different pattern. So let's keep going all the way up to the top and trying to do our best to fill in these lines and go straight across the paper. Now one key thing is students want to tend to tip their ruler. We always want to keep this ruler parallel with the bottom line. So we're always bringing it up like this, nice and smoothly. So when I get between these fingers, even though my fingers are bent and these lines are bent, I don't want to try to connect it like this. I always keep my ruler parallel to the ground. So I'm going to go ahead and go straight across here, come up here, Go straight across here. I have another one in between from this one. And it's okay to kind of change it up and do different lines. Now, once you reach the end of your lines here for your fingers, we've done all of our lines going across. Let's pretend I'm done. I'm now just going to kind of space them out about a finger width apart all the way to the top. And look, see, I pick up my pencil, put it down, pick up my pencil, put it down. Then about a finger width apart. I go straight across, pick up my pencil, put it down, straight across. About a finger width apart. We're doing straight lines across, like this. And if I make a mistake, we call it a beautiful oops. It's okay, keep going. Straight across. Looks like I fit one more in here. Straight across. Now that I'm finished with my design, you can go ahead and go over your lines with Sharpie marker if you have one. This is going to make our hand pop out even more. Make sure I'm going nice and slow. And if you don't have a Sharpie marker, you can use a crayon, you can use a regular marker, you can use anything you have to try to outline your hand. Going to carefully go over these lines and fill in everything, the whole page, with Sharpie marker. All right, now once you're finished with drawing all your lines, the next step is, never forget, we're going to erase our pencil lines so you don't see them anymore. So I'm going to go in here, my finger, and go ahead and erase all these pencil lines. That's why we always try to draw it light until we get it right. So I'm going to go in here and erase all my pencil lines all over. Now that I've erased my pencil lines, the next step we're going to do is try to color it in. The easiest way to do this is we're going to start with our hand, and you're going to pick two colors. You can use markers, you can use crayons, you can color pencils, whatever you would like to do. Today I'm going to use markers. I'm going to start with the top, and we're going to work our way down. Maybe I'll start with the bottom, just kidding. Okay, I'm going to come in here. I'm going to start with orange. I'm going to try to go in here nice and smooth. Then I'm going to skip one, and I'm going to do orange again. And I'm going to skip one. Skip. And remember I skip. Skip. And here I go right here. And I skip this one. I come in here, and I'm going to try to fill in these a little bit better in just a second so it doesn't look like I have a lot of white spaces. We got to get rid of all those white paper lines. So I'm going to make it nice and solid orange. And I'm just kind of skipping every other one. Alright, so now that I got the orange done, I'm going to pick my different color, which is blue. And I'm going to go and color in between the lines. All the way up to the ends of my fingertips. And again, I'm going kind of quick right now, but I'm going to make sure I fill in it nice and solid so we don't see any of the white paper. Alright, now the next step is outside the hand, you can color this however you like. You can draw patterns and designs, you can do different rainbow colors. That's completely up to you what you decide to do on the outside. But another thing that you can do if you'd like, You can take the opposite color that touches here and make it go on the outside. So since we did orange right down here, I'm going to do blue on the outside. So you can see. So I'm going to do blue here. So it's the opposite color all the way through here and then all the way through here. And then skip a line. Now, when we get up to our fingers, this might not work out perfectly, which is okay. Sometimes we make those beautiful oops, and it all works out in the end. So you can decide when you get close to your fingers, if it doesn't quite match up, then try it a little bit differently. We didn't exactly do the same spacing for the fingertips, so you might have some more lines or less lines. Don't worry about it, though. Just do the best you can. All right, and I'm moving quick with my lines, but like we said before, we would make sure we color it in really nicely. So that way there's no white spaces in the background. Skip a line. Like so here is a little oops, but it's okay. We're going to keep going. And right here, I'm not going to color in there because I realized I did an extra line. And we want it to kind of go blue to blue. So I think I'm going to do blue right here. So it's the oranges. Some of these artistic, creative decisions you're going to have to make on your own by looking at your own, because ours all are going to be very different because our hands are also different sizes. But the key is you want to try as best as you can, whatever the color is next to the finger that touches the line, you want it a different color. So I'm trying my best to kind of make that happen. And here I'm going to also do another blue, even though it's like a double blue. Or I could always draw another line in between, maybe do like a little orange strip in between if I like. We're going to continue all the way to the top with the blue. Now we're ready to do the orange. So now we're going to go in between each line. This is kind of a little bit easier since we already did the blue and we kind of know where it goes. So in between we're going to start doing the orange. So I start at the bottom and you can see how it's kind of making this look like a three-dimensional hand with the lines curved and these straight. But what also is helping is the fact that it looks like an illusion because it's skipping every other line and trying to make it look different with the color combination. But again, you can do whatever you like in the background. You don't have to do the same design as mine. You can decide what works best for you because you're the artist and you make the decision. So we're going to go all in between with these with orange, and then I'll show you the finished product. Now the project is finished. You can be done with it, or you can decide, yeah, maybe I want to go in and add some details and designs, or circles, hearts, shapes, stars into the background, or this could be your completed artwork. But you can take it where you like. Hope you enjoyed this art project, and I hope you tune in for another Art with Miss Merlo.